Now, I don't care how good of a teacher you are, you're going to come across students that are going to take their behavior to that next level.
Class outside! Class outside!
They're going to choose to be defiant to you. They're going to choose to push your buttons. And so the question then becomes, how do you deal with that? So I want to explain to you what I do in my classroom to deal with those defiant students. First, let's play that intro, and then let's dive into this. First of all, you got to know that it's not you. It probably feels like all the blame's upon you. It probably feels like the student's accusing you of things, but more often than not, it is not you. Students are usually going through something and they choose, and I use this word purposely, they choose to act the way they do. Now, don't get me wrong, there are definitely a lot of factors into this, but I honestly believe more often than not, students choose to act a certain way because they're looking for a certain response or because they're looking for a certain outcome. And I can name different examples of that. But that's one thing I keep in mind. Students choose to act that way. And if you go into it knowing that students choose to act that way, then you can deal with it better. So in my course on classroom management, we talk about how to remain calm, because students will try to push your buttons. And if you don't remain calm, then that shift of power, the shift of control of the classroom goes away from you to them. So you gotta learn how to remain calm. And I give an example of someone just really struggling, how you can just kind of weather the storm as they're struggling. But whatever it takes for you to kind of just remain calm, that is the first key thing to do. And then also to help out, I created this form, a progression of how I deal with defiant students. So if you like a copy of that, just go ahead and click in the description below and get a free copy of my progression of how I deal with defiant students. But the bottom line is, when you're dealing with them, you need to remain calm, and there needs to be a progression where you're giving them the choice to change their behavior. I would say, and I'm pretty confident about this number, I would say I have one of these students in every period of my class. Or maybe not every period, but some periods maybe I have 2 or 3 of them. But bottom line is, I teach 5 periods, so I have about 5 students that are openly defiant at some point in time in my class. And how I deal with them affects the rest of the classroom environment. And so once again, the key is remaining calm, and the key is there's a progression. And the idea of the progression is that as you go up, as you are progressing on these consequences, as you progression on dealing with the defiant student, every step away you give them the chance to make the decision to change their behavior, because that's the ultimate goal, is for them to change their behavior. And if they change their behavior, not saying there won't be any consequences for their initial behavior, but if you change their behavior, then that is the ultimate thing you're looking for. And the key is being consistent with how you're dealing with them. So when it comes to dealing with defiant students, just some quick notes: remain calm. Make sure you have a progression. Once again, you can link down below to see how I handle my class. So remain calm, have a progression, and let them make the decision to change their behavior. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button or click on one of the other links.